Okay, so what if I told you there's a scientific theory out there that could completely change how you see, well, everything? We're going to dive into the physics of oneness, this incredible idea that you're not just a person living in the universe, you are the universe. Let's get into it.
This quote really just sets the stage perfectly, doesn't it? This is not metaphor, it is the physics of magic. It's suggesting that the deepest, most profound truths about who we are aren't just some nice philosophical ideas. They're actually baked into the fundamental laws of the cosmos itself.
So what's the actual science behind a statement like that? Well, it's rooted in something called unified field theory, put forward by Nassim Haramein. And let me tell you, it's a pretty radical new way of looking at the very fabric of our reality.
Okay, first thing you have to do is completely forget the idea of empty space. This theory says that what we call the vacuum is actually full. It's an infinitely dense field of energy, a seething sea of pure potential where everything we see and know bubbles up from. So think of it less like a big, empty box with stuff in it and more like a single, vibrant ocean of energy. We're all just waves in that ocean.
Now that leads us to this next mind-bending idea, the holographic principle. You know how with a hologram, you can cut off a tiny piece and the entire image is still contained in that little fragment? Well, this principle suggests the whole universe works just like that. Every single particle, no matter how small, contains all the information of the entire cosmos. The whole is literally encoded in every single part. And how is this all structured? It's all based on fractal geometry. You've seen this before, even if you didn't know the name for it. It's when the same basic patterns repeat over and over again at every scale. You know, the spiral of a galaxy looks like a seashell, which looks like a swirl of water going down the drain. The branching of a tree looks just like our own nervous system. It means reality is infinitely self-similar.
All right, let's just pull those three ideas together for a second. If space is this infinite energy field, and every particle in it contains the information of the whole, and the same patterns repeat at every scale, then what's the big takeaway? It's this: you are not separate from the universe. You are a self-aware piece of it, experiencing itself. Every point in space, including you, holds the whole.
You know, understanding all this intellectually is one thing, but actually living it, that's something else entirely. So let's talk about how we can start shifting our own consciousness to line up with this new paradigm, to go from being just a passive observer to an active creator in our own lives.
It really starts with our mindset. On one side, you've got what we could call the narrow mind. It's stuck in a paradigm prison, right? It's in an echo chamber, only looking for things it already believes. But on the other side, you have the expansive mind. This mind is fluid, it's curious, it's out there actively seeking new signals. And that's the kind of mindset you need to even begin to engage with a reality that's this interconnected.
So how do you actually grow an expansive mind? Well, here are 3 things you can start doing right now. First, practice radical inquiry. Every day, just pick one truth that you take for granted and question it. Second, keep what's called an anomaly journal. Write down anything weird that happens, anything that just doesn't fit your neat model of the world. And third, engage in listening circles. Actively go find people with different, even opposite points of view and just listen. Now, what if you could actually feel these ideas instead of just thinking about them? That's exactly the goal of this incredible immersive art installation called S.T.E.V.E. It's designed to take all the physics we just talked about and turn it into a direct physical experience of what it's like to be the field. I want you to just imagine this for a second. You walk into a completely dark room and suddenly you're surrounded by this vast, infinite star field. But it's not just a projection. As you move, the stars shimmer. If you make a sound, the constellations actually shift. It feels like the universe is listening to you, like it's aware that you're there. So this first stage leaves you with this really profound question. It's not some abstract idea anymore. You just saw it with your own eyes. Your presence had a direct effect on the cosmos around you. What does that even mean? What does that imply about your place in everything? And in the next stage, things get even more personal. This is where the installation starts to capture your own unique data, your choices, your emotions, even your physical heartbeat, and uses it to directly shape the world you're seeing around you. It's amazing. At one station, your simple gestures release these glowing butterflies that flutter out into the space. At another, a sensor reads your pulse, and your heartbeat literally blossoms into this beautiful, unique geometric aura. Your internal state becomes external, visible art. But this next part, this is where it gets truly powerful.
In the third stage, you walk into this central chamber, and you see that all the private data from every single visitor, your butterfly trails, someone else's heartbeat aura, another person's choices, it's all being woven together in real time to co-create one single, shared, evolving world on these massive 360-degree screens. And then the whole experience culminates in this final audio-visual journey. This is where the science we talked about at the beginning comes full circle. You're taken on this visual trip that shows you the fractal connections, zooming all the way in from the scale of a single proton to a strand of DNA to a neuron, and then all the way out to a galaxy, showing you it's all part of one seamless, interconnected pattern.
So, okay, we've looked at the mind-blowing physics and this incredible art experience. But what does it all really mean for you right now? Why does any of this matter? Let's bring it all home.
Get this, on a physical level, 99.999999% of you is what we used to call empty space, but now we know that space isn't empty at all, right? It's an infinite field of pure potential. So that means you are literally physically made of the creative energy of the entire universe.
And that brings us to the ultimate message, the big shift in how you see yourself. It's no longer I am a separate person moving through the field of the universe. No. You are not in the field. You are the field, experiencing itself from a unique point of awareness.
And so I'll leave you with this final question. If the physics and the art are both pointing to the same truth, that your consciousness isn't separate from reality, but is actually helping to shape it, then the power is, and always has been, in your hands. If you are the creative force, what kind of reality are you going to choose to create?